Sorry, we could go on with anecdotes, and actually I've had the same experience in Galway, I have to say, the exact same experience, and to add to that experience, another politician was allowed to bring a bus and bring, but we could go on with anecdotes till 10 o'clock tonight, and it really just is an indication of how we treat people in direct provision. There should be utter clarity around their rights, which there isn't. And you're not in a position to tell us, was that the policy, was not the policy. So please, clarify the policy for us in writing. That's what I'd like. I've just a few practical questions. Just the housing assistance payment, which I'm very familiar with. If somebody has received the refugee status, but they can't get a home, in Galway City in particular, where we have a major crisis, I understand they're in a limbo, as it were. They can't get their entitlements because they don't have an address. Is that correct?
I'm not in a position to either clarify or not clarify that, because we don't administer the housing assistance payment. What we do, working with NGOs, is to try and ensure as best we can that people can access the housing market.
No, Mr. Waters, just as somebody in charge of the Department of Justice.
Yeah. But we don't run the housing assistance payment.
I'm fully aware you don't, and you have enough burdens on your plate, and you don't need any more, and you certainly have enough to look into. Yeah. But I'm very familiar with Galway, and there's a major housing crisis, and so I can see people in direct provision who've received status getting out anytime soon. But my question is very practical, and again, if you could check it for me. Is there a double bind on them if they don't get, you get a housing assistance payment if you get a house? If you can't get a house, you can't get a housing assistance payment. Yeah, and so you can't get entitlements. That's my question. Yeah. So can you come back for that? Are you entitled to unemployment benefit?
Once they have status in the state,
regardless if they're still in direct provision.
Mr. Banks, can you?
To the best of my knowledge, they're not entitled to unemployment benefit while they're still resident in state-provided accommodation. But again, that's a matter for the Department of Social Protection.
Yeah, but I just want clarity around it. That's
I'll ask the question, but I can't give you clarity about actions in other departments.
You have to know. You have to have clarity, because you have residents staying in your direct provision. You need to know what they're entitled to or not entitled to. I'm not blaming you for that. I just want clarity around it. So it seems my understanding is correct. They can't draw benefits. They can't get HAP. They're caught in a Kafkaesque situation.
Deputy, if I can help you there, is you can be sure that it's not in our interest to participate in that as best we can, because we clearly want to ensure that people who have status move on as quickly as possible.
Sorry, 1 in 6 are not moving on. Yeah. So you clearly have an onus to find out why they're not moving on. Yeah. So just clarity around that. Number 2, the university. Somebody mentioned it already, and I understand there was a pilot project in relation.
Yes.
Could you give us the results of that in writing, and where we're at with that?
Again, the Department of Education, but we'll check that and come back to you on that.
The third thing, I forgot to ask the number of children in direct provision.
Do we have that figure in the paper somewhere?
I didn't see it now, but maybe I just missed it. And while you're,
it's approximately a third, Deputy, but I'll send it to you.
I don't want approximate figures.
That's fine. We'll give you the precise figure as the latest.
I'm almost finished.
Available.
The complaints procedure again was a strong recommendation, and it was mentioned by my colleagues. Do I understand that you don't have a complaints procedure now, that the direct provision residents go straight to the Ombudsman?
No, sorry.
No.
You do have an internal complaints procedure.
Yes.
Good. Could you
you take the complaint first of all to the manager in the centre, because typically the complaint is about something that's happening to you.
Yeah, I understand so.
Okay, if I may finish. Then if you're not happy with that, you take it to RIA. If you're not happy with that, you may then take it to the Ombudsman. So,
as in all cases, you exhaust the existing.
Exactly, but of course, you can always take the complaint directly to the Ombudsman, and the Ombudsman will.
Have you carried out an annual review or an annual audit in relation to complaints arising, problems arising, to improve things?
You undertake information clinics on a regular basis every month within the centres. And
again, I've seen that, I've read it, and the Controller and Auditor General commented on that to say you're not collating that information.
We'll accept that recommendation.
Okay, so by this time next year you'll be back before us, and you'll be telling us that you're now collating it, you're now looking at it with a view to improving.
That is our intention, yes.
All right. Thanks very much. Thanks, and that's it.
Okay, does the committee agree to